This fucking shit where YouTubers pretend to be cops or lawyers to one another is gross. Everyone needs to stop this shit. If you're not literally a fucking cop or lawyer, I don't need you to do this, ever. Stop it. Talk to a fucking lawyer or a cop. Don't do this. This is stupid. Lapucia requested the SaberSpark response video. I have to say, presentationally, a video called Response and the thumbnail is just a black screen with white text that says Response. The most YouTube thing I've ever seen in my life. What I love about this is that there is no possible way that the controversy was as big as this response is. Like, this has like 700,000 views, and it's obviously because it is so non-specific. Like, it's not response to I Love Kim Possible a lot's accusation. It's just response. So even if you have no earthly clue what the drama is, you're just like, whoa, something happened. What's going on? Hold me, I'm scared.
Hello, I'm Stephen Carver, and I go by the name of SaberSpark.
You know it's fucking serious when they start off with their full fucking name.
On YouTube. For the sake of transparency, I will be on camera for this video. I also have some notes over here I will be referencing for this response. Now, some of you may have seen the recent 2-hour video by the YouTuber I Love Kim Possible a lot. Putting aside
on the no cartoon Sona, we're all in big trouble. That's really funny. Yeah, and I saw people saying that like they were jump scared by the face, but I'm used to SaberSpark being originally a face, because how I knew SaberSpark back in the Brony days was he made the first like fan-made attempts at a Brony documentary. He was the first person to be like, here's why this is happening, and here's why I'm into it. So in that way, he was kind of the most influential Brony YouTuber. He had the first like really big video about bronies. And, you know, his face was always on screen in that, and he also was in all the Bronies React videos, which were, like, probably the most popular videos in the community, basically taking all of the popular Brony YouTubers and editing their reactions to popular episodes together. And he's not trans? Well, I don't know. He must have something going on, right? He talks about cartoons for a living. Let's see if he talks about it.
what it was, which we'll talk about here in a moment. This video included her making some significant and sweeping accusations involving me. Most of the comments I saw on the original upload indicated that many people saw this video for what it was, clout chasing, and it threw out very severe allegations in a really callous and reckless way.
I will say, from having met KP and seen the way she's moved throughout her career, she is very similar to Jeff Thu in the mindset she has towards YouTube as a game of like, I'm in this to meet all the celebrities I'm a fan of and like work with big channels that I like, kind of carry myself as a micro celebrity. So I am not at all surprised to hear that she would do this kind of thing. SaberSpark has carried himself with the energy of, I am strictly here to do my thing and hang out with my friends. Every time I ever saw him at cons, it was him and AC Racebest running around with cameras, you know, doing the vlogger thing and like just collecting footage.
I appreciate that people out there are willing to question such things, and more importantly, share my sentiment that this is not the way things should be done. What was said was untrue, and it's disappointing to see people try to build themselves up by tearing others down. With that in mind, this is my response to recent allegations against me from the Twitter account BronyFandom and the YouTuber I Love Kim Possible a lot. Before I begin, I want to give a content warning for the following things on screen. Folks, this is a very serious video.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck did she say he did?
So please continue watching it at your own discretion. To be clear,
hey, you know, his voice is fine, but I need this a little bit faster. It's just too dramatically slow for my brain to fully process.
The accusation that I sexually assaulted someone is completely false, and I feel disgusted that I even have to say
disgusted
that. I've had sexual partners before in the past, but we've always abided by enthusiastic and reciprocated consent. The actual reality of the situation
I believe him. He does not seem like the kind of guy who would commit any kind of sexual assault. It just doesn't seem like his aura to me. I don't know.
Appears to be the result of what I believe to be a hit piece. From what I've seen, it seems that KP and a person by the username of BronyFandom were working together to push this story, and I have evidence to prove that. But more than that, what KP's video actually does is extremely dangerous. It hurts those who are truly victims out there. And this is not how you do things when it comes to people's lives. The following section will be about I Love Kim Possible a lot, my history with her, and what appears to be her attempt to falsely accuse me for her own gain. To make it easy, I will be
This is like kind of fun. Like, I'm not really like a SaberSpark fan or anything. My brother openly makes fun of him constantly for his shitty takes on cartoons. But I love YouTube drama, and especially watching someone with righteous indignation pack somebody out who's trying to fuck with them. So it's possible I will come out really heavily sounding like I'm on Saber's side just because I'm getting excited. If I was in his position, I would be fucking giddy to do this video. I would not be able to take it seriously like he is. I would be like, and this bitch said this about me, even though she be like this, this motherfucker, right? Like, I would be going off, all the way off, if this happened with me. So I like seeing a soft, sensitive approach to somebody who obviously is feeling what I'm describing, but being very, very chill about it and very professional about it, because he knows he's going to make 1 million views and make a shitload of money off of being this way about it, keeping his cool.
referring to her as KP for the remainder of this video. I met KP in 2014. We lived in the same state and eventually became friends. This was mainly because we shared common interests, as we were both part of the Bernie fandom and were both YouTubers as well. She came to me asking for advice on her videos and connections to go to conventions. At the end of 2014, I started a new job and entered a new relationship with someone. For the next 5 months, I was extremely busy. KP would occasionally reach out to me, but I did not have time to hang with her. It was nothing personal, and we naturally drifted apart.
Yeah, and also SaberSpark's never been like a super available guy. He's never been the dude you hit up for that kind of shit. Even for me, who's like almost never talked to this guy, because I got that vibe off of him so much that like this isn't a guy who's out to like try to schmooze with random fucking YouTubers he doesn't know. Again, she moves around like Mother's Basement, which is like, I'm contacting literally everyone. Everything is an opportunity.
8 years pass, and in August of 2023, a friend of mine messaged me on KP's behalf. He told me that according to KP, one of the editors on my team allegedly did something inappropriate to her back in 2015. I immediately addressed this with my editor, and he told me that the matter was settled between him and KP. I took his word on that and assumed that KP would reach out to me.
God, Aficionado Chris, I feel like I've heard that fucking name before. Ugh, the internet is so weird because nobody ever, like, unless you die, you are never gone. You're always around, and I can forget about you for like 12 years and then see your name and be like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure I've heard that name, but I have no idea why, no idea what context.
To me directly if that was not the case. On November 12th, 2024, KP made a tweet where she was upset that Chris was still working on my projects. She then posted, video coming soon. On January 6th, 2025, KP emailed me demanding I take action due to Chris and what she claimed he did nearly 10 years ago. Due to a leaked call between Chris and KP, they recalled the full story. Chris made a sex joke in regards to KP, and she found out about it many years later. What shocked me was when I was informed, this call was recorded without Chris's knowledge or consent. Chris profusely begged for forgiveness at the end of the call, and it looked like both KP and Chris ended on amicable terms, which matches what I was told by Chris when I initially confronted him about the situation.
Yeah, Chris, you want to say anything?
I guess I'd go first, yeah.
Go for it.
All right. Well, first, I think it's the obvious thing is one, just want to profusely apologize for that terrible fucking thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
And that, God, was an absolute horrible person. So many.
I could not even begin to imagine ending up in a recorded call where I'm apologizing to some fucking YouTuber for some dumb shit joke I made. Absolutely never would this happen to me.
Many years ago, and you didn't deserve that. So.
All right. So I don't really have anything else that I feel comfortable saying at this point, but you know, I'll just leave with good luck and may God have mercy on your soul. And you know, this too shall pass. Okay.
Oh my God. Fucking Jesus Christ. People who speak in like generic quotations to try to sound cool, that shit makes me cringe on the deepest level.
All those things. So yeah. Okay.
Hearing KP just like list off like 3 like generic fucking aphorisms as like a response to someone sincerely apologizing, that is just like incredibly inauthentic to me.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have a good night. I think I'm gonna limit my.
Yeah, Alex, I'm also curious how this escalates from SaberSpark's editor made one bad joke 10 years ago that he apologized for to SaberSpark is a rapist. I'm very curious about that too.
My communication with you for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Gary, geez, she might as well have said go fuck yourself. Yeah, pretty much.
But
No, that's perfectly reasonable, and I understand.
In addition, after listening to this call, it appears KP was asking Chris intrusive questions in order to find more information about me.
So as far as your relationship with Saber, like, is it like, just so I know, is it something? Are you guys like friendly, or is he just giving you?
Hey, is it possible that I can like use you against your friend?
Kind of contract work, and that's it.
I mean, I guess you could say it's
How much can I use you against your friend exactly?
both, but I don't have like long conversations with him because he's so busy. The
Okay.
most I ever see him is at conventions if he happens to be at the same one.
Okay, so you know you're not in an environment where.
CC says this situation seems so ridiculous. This is what brony YouTubers are like. This is what it was like even back then. Their pride within their group is everything to them. They will use outside forces to try to manipulate the interiority of their station within the group. It's super fucking weird. For these people, high school has never ended. It has never fucking ended.
This would have come up anyway.
Never.
So he would probably be in a.
Never.
Actually, middle school has never ended, I should say. They're fucking My Little Pony YouTubers.
He's 100% unaware. Like, again, I can't stress enough is that in the times I ever told the story, it was, as you described it, locker room talk with a very small amount of people in a private call. I never told it publicly, and I never, ever told it to anyone like SaberSpark.
As far as Chris goes, we took the situation seriously from the very beginning. The joke was inappropriate, but it was told nearly 10 years ago. He profusely apologized to me as well and admitted to his faults. I believe in the inner growth of a person and that they can change for the better. He did good work for the team. I was surprised, though, that KP thought she had the ability to dictate who I hire and fire for my own team. On February 5th, 2025, KP emailed me again, but this time with false allegations. She claimed that I had, quote, jerked around my...
If you send me an email that long, I'm not reading it. Steven, comma, nope. Excuse me, ma'am. My name is SaberSpark. You don't know Steven. Shut the fuck up. Who are you? Get out of my emails. Like, that would be my response to that.
Emailed me again, but this time with false allegations. She claimed that I had, quote, jerked around my employees and generally treated them with very little consideration. She also claimed that I was, quote, hosting polygamous relationships with fangirls.
Whoa. Hosting? What is the accusation here? She's not accusing him of having a polygamist relationship with fangirls. She's accusing him of hosting. I don't know if she literally means polygamous or if she means polyamorous and she's just a fucking idiot. But is she saying that he had polyamorous relationships in his house? Because how the fuck is that an accusation? What, hosting? What in the fuck are you talking about?
Which is as ridiculous as it sounds. On February 25th,
It is indeed ridiculous sounding.
2025, KP sent her final email to me. In it, she said, quote, to add on to this, I will fight you for the truth. Tone, your...
She even put the one misspelling in there. Like, this is what you do to someone you're trolling in a comment section. This is, like, really pathetic to have in a professional email.
whole ass email, and the Twitter thread is drenched in, undermines the actual issues of the conversation, on top of assuming I'm going to publish falsifiable information. End quote. However, incorrect information and hearsay was included within the release video. She also stated that the reason she messaged my members of my team...
Frankly, I do not have the patience or emotional bandwidth for your tone, your constant villainization, or to discuss this further with you at this point for your own perceived direct benefit. Just stop typing. Go take a breather. Touch grass. Have a nice day. Eat a sandwich. Eat a bagel sandwich with some fucking sprouts in it.
team, instead of contacting me directly, was that I, quote, triggered the shit out of her. And at the end of the email, she told me to never contact her again. And follow...
Imagine saying the phrase, you triggered the shit out of me. There's nothing sensitive about describing yourself taking a shit. You can't bake an insensitive phrasing into your cry for sensitivity. You can't be like, I'm so fucking upset that people aren't being nice to me. Like, you're not exhibiting the desire for what you're asking for.
Following that request, I never contacted her again.
Ramses, you brung this up. What is it with her and the quotes? This stuff. Stop it. Stop that. Nostalgia Critic ruined a whole generation of YouTubers.
I never contacted her again. At this point, I was bracing myself for a hit piece video from KP, but I never imagined she would use false sexual assault allegations against me. I also noticed this particular Twitter exchange the day following KP's final email to me. Leading up to the release of KP's video, she was telegraphing her intentions.
The quotes are a narcissist thing. That makes sense. If you don't believe in how smart I am, listen to these quotes I have from other smart people whose situation reflects mine.
And who they were against. She advertised a video schedule.
For what it's worth, I too thrive on aphorisms, and maybe it is a bit narcissistic, but I really try my best to come up with my fucking own. Your money is worth the tiniest fraction of your loyalty. I need to write that one up here. Those are my aphorisms.
A watch party, a YouTube premiere, and a slew of other posts in order to build up hype for her expose. Bernie fandom was involved too, foreshadowing the release of the video on their Twitter leading up to the release. According to KP, the anonymous story would be posted on Twitter by Bernie Fandom at 10 a.m., with her video premiere about my false allegations 2 hours later. What was to follow would be a video that was not just tone deaf, but dangerously reckless with the lives of others. KP has gone on record saying that the video was originally intended for DA Games, but included me in the allegations a month prior to the release of the upload. The video itself was titled, "What Ruined SaberSpark in DA Games?" and was over 2 hours long. It was primarily advertised as breaking the news of my false allegations, but the section in question was only 5 minutes and 40 seconds long. According to this interview with KP hosted by Slug Entertainment 2, uploaded on May 5th, 2025, KP admits that the story she featured was purely hearsay and had no substantiated evidence.
So, just to be as objective as possible here.
I don't know how we got into like a Balatro Let's Play. Like, I kind of stopped paying attention for a second, and now I don't really know what the fuck's going on in this video anymore. I've lost the plot. Hopefully it won't be too hard to catch back up, because I'm definitely not going back.
So what you're saying is that basically the evidence that you were given was more personal circumstance and hearsay rather than like objective evidence?
Correct. They didn't have any Skype logs or anything because of how long it was ago, and we did ask. So
were there other people that went in to verify these claims, or were there other attempts to verify the claims being made?
Who the fuck is this dude? Who is this rando? Why the fuck is this guy involved, and how did this happen? What the fuck is going on? Who the fuck is he, and why is he involved in this situation?
Made?
Not to my knowledge.
This fucking shit where YouTubers pretend to be cops or lawyers to one another is gross. Everyone needs to stop this shit. If you're not literally a fucking cop or lawyer, I don't need you to do this, ever. Stop it. Talk to a fucking lawyer or a cop. Don't do this. This is stupid.
I believe, I don't know the history of Bonk's relationship with the victim itself. I don't know to what extent
the
he knew
victim
about
itself. Jesus Christ.
everything before the statement was prepared. But I do know that Amy.
CC said, I know the allegations are serious, but this shit is mad funny. I mean, if the allegations aren't real, then they're not serious. Like, they should be treated as a joke. I don't know whose allegations they... this video is honestly leaving out too much detail for it to be totally... It's like, okay, Saber, but what was this? Like, what... Like, you could explain... If it is so not serious, there's more that should be said. And if it is serious, none of it should be said. Why... aren't there just actual lawyers being contacted?
Was vouching for them, and that was also because I knew Amy was on, or has been on, the convention scenes. That's how she met. Peter knew her husband.
The video would be unlisted and eventually removed from KP's channel the same day of its premiere, following a
I mean, I would assume that SaberSpark is just like, none of this has any credence, so the only way to handle this is to talk about it, because there's no sense in... Maybe he's gonna press her at the end and be like, I will literally sue your ass if you don't stop this, because that's what he should be saying, is these accusations are libel, and I'm going to sue you. That's where I hope this video is going, because otherwise I can't take any of it seriously on any side, you know, like...
massive public backlash against it. Apparently, based on the comments in the video, a number of the assets included and voiceover actors involved...
Or slander? It's slander, right? It's one of them. It's libel or slander. It's definitely illegal. You cannot go around accusing someone of sexual assault. That's just not something you're allowed to do.
were allegedly not informed of the nature of the video being made, or had their work used without permission for video B-roll and memes. On Twitter, I was ridiculed, with many people calling me a predator. This was due to the initial sensationalized traction of Brony Fandom's post. But then the post...
Why are they feeling like they are freed fucking slaves because they found out SaberSpark might be... This is insane behavior. Saber is way too nice to be not putting these fucking people's names in here. I want to know the names, goddammit. Some people need to be bullied off the fucking internet. Whoever posted this, you need to be bullied off the internet.
Of Brony Fandom's post.
But
then the post
away.
Itself began to receive
Get out of here.
Public scrutiny over the alleged claims. Following KP's video, Brony Fandom began to backpedal, claiming that they never watched the video prior to promoting KP's upload. Brony Fandom would eventually throw KP under the bus in order to distance themselves from her video's backlash a few days later. So, what does this mean? As far as Brony Fandom goes, one of two things seem to be true. Either 1, they watched the video, approved it, advertised it, and now they're backpedaling because it did not go the way they wanted it to, or 2, they never watched the video in the first place, yet they still endorsed it. Either option is reckless, irresponsible, and speaks to a greater problem. By KP's own admissions, she does not like me, and I believe she holds...
It's really not a secret that I cannot stand SaberSpark. Why would you say something like that? It's just such a wild thing to just throw out there. Like, my God, the level of self-report. Well, you know, it's a bunch of autistic cartoon reviewers. Once again, I don't know why I'm surprised.
...holds a grudge against me after we had a falling out. Slug Entertainment's interview with her seems to demonstrate her malicious intent. And from the context of her video, it looks like it was done with a desire to use this drama to boost her channel's popularity. It was a hit piece, plain and simple, though she denies having a vendetta against me.
If you were to say that this is something that needs to be taken...
She doesn't like this guy because she kept emailing him asking for favors and he didn't really get back to her. So she decided, I don't like SaberSpark. And after years of that continuing to be the state of things, is now accusing him of being a rapist. This is crazy.
...in with the utmost seriousness, despite no evidence. Would you believe that it would be fair?
Why does she write like a villain monologuing to the protagonist? That's how her videos are. This is the girl who was so obsessed with Discord from My Little Pony and John Delancey in specific that like the early part of her career was basically just a beeline to getting John Delancey to feature in one of her videos, which she did successfully do. Again, she is a clout chaser who is specifically out to like meet the celebrities she's a fan of. She's good at that, but it is supervillain thinking. It's like, who can I step on? Who can I use as a ladder to get to the thing I'm trying to get to, you know?
Fair for people to disregard it entirely due to the lack of actual evidence.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay. I wanted to at least ask that, given the fact that these are serious allegations that can get Saber killed.
Yeah, exactly. These are serious allegations that can get Saber killed. That's what the real world is like, where KP doesn't seem to live.
Because people are crazy, and I'd rather not have someone get killed over an allegation that has not been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, that's...
This guy comes off so much more like plainly reasonable and normal than anybody else that's in this situation.
Fair.
At this point in the video, I want to talk about the Twitter account, Brony Fandom. This Twitter account has been purposely targeting me for a while now. By their own words, they believe that internet justice is more effective than...
Who is going to kill SaberSpark? What if they think he's a rapist? People literally will just beat the fuck out of you because they think that you've done that, especially if you're like a famous person who is being accused of something like that, you know? Like, he could easily get his ass beat in the street and he's a pasty little nerd. It's not gonna go well if that happens to him. He's not built like that. He's not taking blows on the daily. I don't actually know. He could be doing some kind of boxing or something. I have no idea.
They seem to see themselves...
He does not look like he's ever been in a fight.
...as judge, jury, and executioner, and launch vicious harassment campaigns against multiple online creators, such as Billy Bustup, Prince Whateverer, and Black Griffin. Brony Fandom has on multiple occasions used falsifiable information to attack people with. According to KP's post, Brony Fandom was in her Discord server, and according to this person, they were allegedly friends. On May 1st...
Ops run together.
2025. Brony Fandom shared KP's false allegations against me. After public backlash for their post, Brony Fandom was constantly arguing with people in the replies. Some people asked if he suggested professional organizations to the victim prior to reaching out to KP, and he said no. Many were inquiring about Rain, and he had no idea what that was. At the time of recording this video, the post is still up on Twitter and has not been corrected, despite being false and unsubstantiated. Finally, I want to bring up Sophie Scruggs. She is a comic artist for IDW and is on record sharing the Brony Fandom account. She was friends with KP prior to the premiere of the video.
Oh boy.
On record sharing the Brony Fandom account. She was friends with KP prior to the premiere of the video.
She looks like a friend of KP.
And even collaborated on other drama videos with her. She even makes an appearance in said video.
That's a kind of cool design, though.
And talks to both KP and Courtney Pete. I believe that Sophie's involvement with the Brony Fandom account is concerning and irresponsible. She seems to be more of a facilitator of moving parts and frequently replies to the account with her own main accounts. At the very least, we can confirm that she shares the account and has essentially co-signed what it posts. At this point, I want to talk about the state of Twitter, but mainly the internet as a whole. I have been on Twitter since 2012, but in early 2020, I noticed that the culture of the website had begun to change. It was more combative and antagonistic, and the website started to reward that kind of engagement. There has been an ongoing weaponization.
Interesting way to try to put a bow on this. By the way, this is like the whole culture of Twitter right now. Like this thing, the reason this doesn't shock me completely is that this is like literally all that's happening on this fucking website anymore. Blue Sky, y'all, if you're still on X, expect this shit to happen to you.
Of online vigilantism. People who adopt a shoot first and ask questions later mentality in the quest to make a name for themselves without doing their due diligence. They would prefer to try to shape the world for what they believe the problem is, rather than actually assisting in the solution. This whole situation is a perfect example of how unqualified strangers can shoehorn their way into extremely delicate situations.
If you're addicted to X and you don't know how to quit, just threaten Elon Musk's life every single day until you get banned like I did. It works, I promise. I did not get any calls from the FBI. Just keep it funny. Don't be like, I'm going to kill Elon Musk. Like, that's too much. But like, it would be really funny if Elon Musk accidentally ate a grenade in his pie.
Bad faith actors are rewarded for their digital tabloids and hit pieces. Without the right checks and balances, people can destroy lives with a single misinformed tweet. These aren't individuals who care about the well-being of victims, but only engagement and exploitative content. It is important to allow legitimate victims to come forward and be heard, but the way the situation was handled was incredibly irresponsible and dangerous. This entire ordeal has been the worst moment of my entire life, and it has done severe damage to me and my family. In regards to my channel, we have lost nearly tens of thousands of subscribers since the release of their video. And that is with the majority of people watching her video, calling it out for its inaccuracies and its failures. There are independent projects which I supported in good faith and made genuine connections with people that have now been ruined because of these false allegations.
Notice how he looked left when he said he supported those independent products in good faith? That's because he knows they all suck.
And I believe that was the overall goal of this calculated attack against my character. Listen, I know that the internet likes to make fun of me, call me cringe, make fun of my videos, and I am totally okay with that. You can make fun of me, but I draw the line at this. I love making videos, and I've been doing it professionally since 2015. I have a family and coworkers who depend on me, and I want to take care of them. I'm not the only one who has been affected by these malicious allegations. And while I am disillusioned by these traumatic events, I am also actively exploring legal remedies in light of these false allegations to hold these people accountable for their lies and actions. But there is far more beyond just me here. Despite the damage against my livelihood and my reputation, I am far more concerned about the reckless nature of internet justice. When people take justice into their own hands for the sake of engagement, clicks, and views, people can get hurt, and it can destroy lives. There are consequences for those actions, and we have to take these matters seriously or more people will get hurt. There are actual victims of sexual assault in the world, and stuff like this detracts from those who really need the help. If you are a victim of sexual assault, there are tools you can use. File a police report. Creating a report is at least a starting point. And create
this is the part. This is this part right here.
It's a paper trail that could help others.
He's like, legitimately, if I had done this, you should please file a police. Send me to jail. I would have done something I can't believe in. You know, like, please, like, you need to actually do something about this if this is real.
Helps you to build a record for actual professionals to use for your aid and your own recovery. If you are a victim, I highly suggest going to rain.org for additional resources and support. It is a professional organization that assists survivors of sexual assault. There is also the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, plus other professional outreach programs and hotlines. We will link these sources and contacts in the description down below. People, we have got to be better than this. Please go to the professionals.
I'm banning
you can have the best
I
chance
can't
to
deal
help
with
yourself.
you.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, no, I don't know how you could possibly think that SaberSpark even was damaged by this controversy, considering the top comments. The fact that she excitedly hyped up her video with premieres and watch parties tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, pretty much. Sue her ass, defamation is no joke. I am honestly shocked that he didn't say that in the video. Like, didn't mention the fact that he could sue her. I assume that he was thinking this is gonna get so many views and be such a blowout that she's probably not going to bother trying this kind of thing again. I'm glad to see people sticking up for themselves in situations like that. The way he handled it really made me feel like, I don't know. Obviously, if he thought there was anything serious about those kinds of accusations, that's not the tack he would have taken. I don't think. It seemed like KP was really trying to push a narrative because she just wants to, like, do some kind of weird Machiavellian power grab as a cartoon YouTuber to try to steal SaberSpark's audience, which is embarrassing because she is like the least intelligent Machiavellian person I have ever encountered.